Hey, what's up YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. After many years of requests, I think I've finally got my act together to give you a review on the awesome Dave Mustaine VMNT. As I say, I've had this guitar for I think just under 10 years now, and look, I love it. I think it's a fantastic instrument. It's really meaty and it suits me well. Not just because I'm a Megadeth fan, of course, but it's just a really great guitar to play, and it feels really accurate to play, if that makes any sense. It's I get a lot of requests from you all saying, what's it like? Does it compare to the Dimebag, other Deans? How does it feel compared to like the Jackson Rhodes and these sorts of things? And I say it's very different. It's a different feeling guitar. It's to me it's a nice feeling guitar, but it did feel a bit larger than I expected for a long time. It took a bit to get used to. It's got a very flat 16-inch radius fretboard, and it's actually quite a wide fretboard. To try and describe other guitars that it's like, it's sort of close to the Rhodes, but it's a little bit flatter like an Ibanez. A little bit of that wizardy feeling neck, but in comparison, like at the 12th fret, I just measured it with my verniers, and it's measuring at about 56.5 mil. If any of you have like the ESP Rhodes style guitars, like the Alexis and things, up at the 12th fret on those it's about 54 mil. So that 2.5 mil, it really does make it feel like you can't just grab it like a baseball bat and play that well. You've actually got to play it more like accurately, if you know what I mean. You've got to play it a bit more, work on your technique and actually have the thumb behind and play it like it's sort of designed. But another thing about it that I thought was strange at the start was I was not used to using like 10 to 52s at the time. I was like a 10 to 46 or 9 to 46 guy, and so when I put the 10 to 46s on this guitar, it didn't sound right. It sounded really thin, and it didn't have as much sort of grunt in the chords, and I just didn't like the tone of it. So I tried putting the 10 to 52s on it, and I was surprised straight away. It actually felt like you could really dig your pick into chunky down picks and really quick rhythms, and at the same time you could have the action lower, and the strings wouldn't buzz and vibrate, because the heavier string under a higher tension just doesn't seem to fluctuate as much or resonate as wide as a lighter string. So it's a strange one, but it turns out I really like it, and it's made me go to 10 to 52s on all my guitars, apart from the ones with Floyd Roses, because they don't tend to like it as much. But other than that, in the 10 years or close to 10 years I've had it, the pickups, they do tarnish from time to time, and I think twice or maybe twice in that time I've given them a little bit of a rub with Barasso, and they've come right up. The Dave Mustaine logos are definitely gone. The Tone Pros bridge, it's still black. There's a bit of, I've worn off the cad coating on the D, A and D strings, D, A and E, sorry. And look, the finish has stood up. It's got a few little scratches and belt buckle scratches and a few little knocks here and there. Look, it goes everywhere with me. I've had it goes wherever I go pretty much. It's one of my favourite guitars to practice on, because you do have to work on your technique so much. talking about the actual hardware on the thing, it's got like mini Grover tuners. They're not locking tuners. They don't go out of tune on me. They're quite nice to turn. It's a very stable guitar. Being solid mahogany, the neck feels really strong. The whole thing feels really strong. It almost feels like it's been braced with the carbon rods and things. It really is. It's not a guitar that feels flimsy in any way. It's a really solid feeling, perfect guitar I'd take on the road. I would happily just gig with this and not even take spare strings, or you know what I mean. Like, of course you would, but I would confidently know that it goes the distance. It's always in tune. I haven't picked it up. I've been away for the last months and come back and it's still in tune. I just tweaked it and it was perfect. The downsides with it, what I can see in the time I've had it, I think either the volume or tone pot, I can't remember which one it was. The electrics died in it. It just cut out one day, so all I did at the time was I swapped out all the pots with EMG wireless pots and just changed the harness at the back of the pickup so they could plug into the and swap out with EMG. So it was a little bit of a fiddly muck around at the time, but it was well worth it. It meant I could try EMGs and other pickups in it, and it turns out I really like the Mustaine live wires. They suit the guitar really well, and they are nice and really thick, sort of thick tone. That if I could describe a tone that they sound like, that really sums them up. It's like that intro to Gears of War, that really gritty, chunky riff, and that's perfect. That's exactly how this guitar sounds to me when I think about it. Another con with it is I'm a big fan of subtle finishes and really nice details, but the nut down here, it's a plastic nut, it's not a graphite nut or anything like that. In the specs in the VMNT Dean website, it says that the nut width is, I think, 44mm, but measuring it on the verniers, it's like 45 and a bit, 45 and a half. And so it means that the nut itself, it fits inside. You can feel like the beautiful ribbing on the outside, and then it dips into where the nut is, and that's, you know, 3/4 mil either side. You can feel that. So it's something that, it's like a little bit of attention to detail was lost with this. It could have been made a bit wider and they sanded it or made it flush with the sides of the neck, like the Jackson Rhodes and the all the Jacksons. They seem to come really nicely with the way that the nuts fit on the end of the guitar, like they're meant to be there. Whereas this one just, it's almost like in my OCD nature, I just wanted to change it, swap it for something that's fitting a bit better, that just looks better. Other than that, they're the cons with it, which is pretty minor. I love the strap locks on the back that usually when you got little button strap holders and you're sitting with it on your leg, the little button sits on your thigh there, and you get a dead leg. It's only a little button, but it must have a vein or something there that I end up with a real dead leg because of that button. And this is it's really comfortable to wear with no strap. Going back to the specs of it. Sorry, I'm getting lost. The fretboard's ebony, really nicely done, really beautiful inlays. I can't fault them. I think one of mine is chipped. Yeah, a little piece is chipped out of it. It's just fractured. The frets are medium when it comes. They're medium nickel fret wire. I'm not a big fan of medium fret wire. I find that it apart from wearing too fast, it feels really castellated when you're sliding and working around the fretboard. they, after about 6 years, I think, or 7 years, they wore out on me. I just got too low and was crowning them on and off. I ended up replacing them with jumbos, extra jumbo fret wire, and it's beautiful. It's perfect. Okay, so I think I've talked about it enough. I think you've got the idea of how the guitar is and how it should feel without actually going to the guitar shop and trying it. But look, I'll just play a few favourite Mustaine riffs on the desktop, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.